Good afternoon, everybody. I'm actually very impressed that you have any kind of bio. I might want to give you a seat in the Intelligence Center because I'm a last-minute substitute, so I thought it was going to be really smart, and then Phil. So here I am. It's my pleasure to represent the Regional Operations Intelligence Center on behalf of Colonel Fuentes. The concept of intelligence-led policing really is our core function. We service law enforcement throughout the state of New Jersey from a host of different directions and perspectives. And I'm going to give you just a very, very quick snapshot of some of the things that we do at our center. We were the focal point for, I'm sure all of you were following Hurricane Irene. We also serve as the Emergency Operations Center. The build up to 9/11, the 10-year anniversary, was huge in our building. Our interface with the FBI, as well as a host of other different agencies in order to try to make sure that we were ahead of what may happen on that anniversary. So there were a lot of initiatives behind the scenes, behind the curtains, that you probably are not aware of in order to try to keep everybody safe as we got closer to 9/11 and the anniversary, because there are a lot of things going on globally. The main thing that the Intelligence Center is responsible for doing is paying attention to things that are going on. I'm relatively confident there's no more noises. That's not my thing. It will come out like a shotgun. One of the things that we try to do is try to look at global events. We have things going on now with Muammar Gaddafi. Like, what is the New Jersey relevance? If there's a bombing overseas, what's the New Jersey relevance? If there is a spike in shootings in a particular city, what is the relevance both locally as well as around the state? If there is a tsunami in Japan, if there's a volcanic eruption overseas and it's interrupting overseas travel, we have to figure out what are the important parts of that will interfere with the private sector. The private sector is generally quicker to respond to global events than law enforcement. The idea of fusion centers was born out of the 9/11 Commission report, where law enforcement, for the most part, was criticized very heavily over our lack of information sharing. So the purpose of the Fusion Center, as it was stated earlier, we have about 30 different state, federal, local representatives in the Fusion Center, totaling over 100 people, that are providing intelligence reports. We've done over 1,000 intelligence reports based on requests so far this year. And we have the resources that come from all of those people. And what we try to do at the center is we get localized information and we try to add value to that information and then push it back out to a requesting agency so that they can better allocate their resources. Because my background is in operations, but I can tell you that I wish I had some of these benefits when I was still, when I still knew where my handcuffs were. I wish I had those back then, what people have now. I'm going to talk very quickly about how we are supporting law enforcement in New Jersey and how we prioritize things. Priorities are one of the things that we're going through right now. It's very important to identify first whether you're training people or whether you're allocating resources for deployments, for crime sprees, is what are the needs. We don't assume to know what the needs of law enforcement are. And we're going through an exercise right now through a host of different places throughout the state of New Jersey to identify what our intelligence needs for the state of New Jersey. Very quickly, Crime Track is a New Jersey-centric program that we utilize. It's one of many different programs that we utilize that captures gang shooting information in the state of New Jersey. Basically, anything that goes on throughout the state of New Jersey gets captured in here in real time. The moment that information is put into a database, into the Crime Track database, and we provide real-time information back to law enforcement. We do daily operating picture reports that go out to law enforcement. We do weekly and bi-weekly situational reports called POP reports, pins on paper, that go out to law enforcement, again, so that law enforcement executives have a better idea of how they can allocate their resources and put people where things, the problem, if you think about it, the problem with pins on paper and cops on dots, whatever other term you want to hear, the problem with that is what? Is that event has already occurred. So what we're trying to do is get to a place where we're actually standing someplace where things may happen. And that's one of the things that we're trying to do through our intelligence reports. This is just, again, another quick snapshot. I'm going to go through these very quickly. This is just another snapshot of shooting events and how they're related to gangs in the state of New Jersey. You're going to see clusters. You see one up in this area, you'll see one in the Trenton area, you'll see one down in Camden area, and you'll see one in Atlantic City area. It's not a coincidence. You're going to hear me talk very quickly about our VEST program, is that in these areas we do have what we call, it's a VEST. VEST is an acronym for Violent Enterprise Source Targeting. It's an initiative that is coordinated with local law enforcement executives to allocate resources. This is kind of a drill down. You can drill down into a city. You can see shootings. The stars represent shooting hits. And then within some, you'll see an M for murders. Contrary to what you may think, this is not Rutgers at homecoming, but it could be, I guess, in a good homecoming. But this is basically what law enforcement can look like. So violent enterprise source targeting. We have 9 cities in the state of New Jersey that we support through the ROC, through intelligence products. We meet with them bi-weekly, and we provide them with real-time information about what's going on. Again, these are opportunities for us to interface with intelligence experts in these areas so that we can get information, get intelligence requirements, so we can put out information that means something to them. So similar to what Anthony was just talking about, I'm just clicking through here very quickly. Identify problem activities. First, what is it that we are looking to identify? What is the problem that we're trying to analyze? Here in Jersey City, not here in Jersey City, but in Jersey City, we identified problem places, and we saw that 10% of locations account for 46% of the crime. And then problem people. Who are the problem people? What you don't see here, when we put out our products, there will be specific people in those products. They're law enforcement sensitive. They go to law enforcement executives. So if we recover a gun, if we investigate a homicide, if we have a shooting victim, we're taking all that stuff together, we're mashing it together, and we're linking things. We provide link charts so people can kind of follow the bouncing ball and see how people interact with one another. This is just another illustration of some crime mapping that we provide. We also give out some temporal information so people understand not only where things are occurring, but what days of the week, what times of the day, because it's fantastic to know the area, but if you're standing there at the wrong time of day or the wrong time of the week, then it's kind of a moot point. Again, in December of 2010, up in Essex County, there were 60, these are just a couple examples of ways that we've assisted. There were 66 carjackings in 1 month in Essex County. We have, as a result of that, we now have an Essex County representative that's embedded in the ROC that's giving information back up to the area. And so it's, you see the clusters all over the place, but as you can also see on the bottom right-hand corner, we have some more temporal type of information that we can provide about not only where things have occurred, but also what days of the week are our best bang for the buck. And what you see, that crime map up on top there, that comes from our geospatial predictive analysis software, GOI, where, again, back to standing someplace where things are going to happen, not where they already have. Again, this is what we did here is we overlaid parolees, federal and state parolees, over top of where events were occurring. Again, just another resource that we can provide people in order to try to decide where we should be. I talked very quickly about geospatial predictive analytics. This is something that we've used to great success. It's also the source software that we use for our crime mapping when we do our POP reports out to the different agencies. In very quick, a very quick description, and if you get beyond this quick description, I'm not an IT person. I can barely spell IT. So you have an area of interest that you're looking at. Past events. You're going to look at past events, and what you lay over top of when you're doing predictive analytics are thousands of different factors that are similar to events that have already occurred. Demographics is a very small part of that. That you have confectionery nut stores. How close are things to confectionery nut stores? I mean, crazy things like that. Educational successes of area. Where are these events occurring in relation to transit hubs? And it just goes on and on from there. And then what you end up with our mapping opportunities, and you can see the more dense, the map density chart on the top right here. It gives you an idea of where things may occur. This is just a very quick snapshot. For the most part, law enforcement will be able to tell you where their hotspots are, but maybe not the street that they're on. They'll give you a very, very broad area. You can see what a density map would look like, and then what a predictive analysis map would look like. The ovals that you see are where things may occur. And that's just an illustration of what we hand out. Jersey City, this is a kind of a success story where they got hit with over 30 burglaries in a 1 month period of time. They came to us with their information. We started to mash it all together. We used the predictive analytics, and they allocated their resources in that square, and they actually took a bad guy off coming out of a house and went for the whole series of burglars. We got called by the Philadelphia Police Department over the with the Kensington Strangler case, and we provided them with information about where things may occur. When we got involved, this is what we provided them. And if you look at the left-hand side, these were locations within Kensington where where we predicted that the next homicide could occur. That was the next homicide. It was number 9 on our list. And then ultimately, the area of apprehension was where the oval is in the top of the map. That, if we had not been there at that time, what you would have seen is that area of Kensington would have turned glowing red, just like the rest of the other parts where the predictive analysis had put us. Very quickly, and then I'll be done. We also got involved with a series of armed robberies along the 95 corridor outside of Philadelphia. This is a success story in part, because once we got the predictive analytics involved, you can see the top 10 areas that we thought would get hit. The highlighted places are places that were already hit. The prediction was that they may go back again. It's a success because the very next place was number 4 on our list, so we looked like shining stars. The problem was nobody was standing there. So it kind of gives you a snapshot of what can occur with predictive analytics. The benefits, obviously, intelligence-led policing, our ability to allocate resources has been greatly enhanced through the Fusion Center and our ability to service the community. Right now, a very big focus for those of you that are from New Jersey is Atlantic City, with our tourism district down there. That's a very hot button for us right now. All right, thank you very much.